Today, I'll be going over the top vintage Yu-Gi-Oh sales of the past week, March 28th through April 3rd. This includes cards from the original Duel Monsters era, GX, and now I'm including 5D's cards. Let's jump right into the top Duel Monsters era sales. Number 10. From the set Invasion of Chaos, we have the ultra rare first edition monster card, Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. That's a PSA 9, pop 125, selling as a best offer for $700. That one's a 35% decrease from its all-time high of $1,074 back in April of 2021. Now I'm surprised to see that this card has such a high population considering how long it was used in competitive play. Number 9. From the set Invasion of Chaos, we have the ultra rare first edition monster card, Dark Magician of Chaos. That's a PSA 9, pop 102, selling as a buy it now for $845. That one's an 18% decrease from the all-time high of $1,025 back in March of 2021. Cool to see two Invasion of Chaos cards make the list right away. I am sort of surprised, though, the Dark Magician of Chaos beat Blackluster Soldier. Number 8. From the set Legend of Blue Eyes, we have the secret rare first edition fusion monster Gaia the Dragon Champion. This one's a BGS 8. That's a PSA pop of 50, selling at auction for $1,129. Now that's just barely under the all-time high, a 2% decrease from the all-time high of $1,150 back in November of 2020. This is actually the lowest grade card to make this week's top 10 list, and it's also the only fusion monster. Number 7. From the set Metal Raiders, we have the ultra rare first edition monster card Barrel Dragon. That's a PSA 10, pop 78, selling as a buy it now for $1,674. This one's down 44% from the all-time high of $3,000 back in March of 2021. This is a first time seeing Barrel Dragon in the top 10 list all year. It's an iconic card that deserves its spot at number 7 this week. Number 6. From the set Magic Ruler, we have the secret rare first edition monster card Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. It's a PSA 10, pop 164, selling at auction for $1,725. This one's a 60% decrease from the all-time high of $4,350 all the way back in April of 2021. It's nice to have 4 sets represented in the first 5 cards. Usually Legend of Blue Eyes dominates the entire top 10. Number 5. From the set Legend of Blue Eyes, we have the ultra rare first edition Dark Magician. That's a BGS 9. The PSA population on a 9 is 169. That card sold at auction for $1,909. This one's down 73% from its all-time high of $7,000 back in November of 2020. This is actually the biggest percent drop from all-time high of any card this week. It's also the largest population of a card in the top 10. Number 4. From the set Legend of Blue Eyes, we have the ultra rare first edition monster card Red Eyes Black Dragon. That's a PSA 10, pop 76, selling at auction for $3,550. That's a 67% decrease from the all-time high of $10,600 all the way back in January of 2021. This is the first PSA 10 Red Eyes we've seen in quite a while. I really wouldn't have expected it to drop this massively from the all-time high. Number 3. From the set Legend of Blue Eyes, we have the ultra rare first edition monster card Red Eyes Black Dragon once again. This one's also a PSA 10, pop 76, selling as a buy it now for just a bit more than the other, $3,650. This one's down 66% from that all-time high of $10,600 back in January of 2021. These 2 copies of Red Eyes are the only duplicates this week, so a pretty diverse list. Number 2. From the set Legend of Blue Eyes, we have the ultra rare first edition Magic card Monster Reborn. This one's a BGS 9. The PSA pop on that is 52, selling at auction for $4,250. Now, I think this is kind of a suspicious sale. It would be a new all-time high, a 166% increase from the previous all-time high of $1,600 back in April of last year. But I really just don't think this sale is correct. I think it was either shill bid up or never paid for or something suspicious. There's just no reason for a card that sold at $1,600 at the peak of the Yu-Gi-Oh market pretty much to be selling for over double that. Number 1. From the set Legend of Blue Eyes, we have the ultra rare first edition monster card Blue Eyes White Dragon. This one's a BGS 9. The PSA population on a 9 is 168. It's sold as a best offer for $5,600. That's down 67% from the all-time high of $17,100 back in February of 2021. And this one's right in line with the recent Blue Eyes sales we've seen over the past few months. Before we get into the top GX sales of the last week, I'd like to announce this video's giveaway. I'll be giving away a Horn of Heaven and Legendary Fisherman original cards to one of my subscribers who likes this video and comments down below letting me know your favorite card from this week's list. And if I reach 500 subscribers by the end of April, I'll be giving away this 25th anniversary Dark Magician to one random commenter on a video from this month. The more videos you comment on, the better your chances of winning. Now on to the top 10 GX era sales of the past week. Number 10. From the set Gladiator's Assault, we have the secret rare first edition spell card Soul Taker. That's a PSA 8. just a population 1 selling at auction for $455. We've had no previous sales of this card, so that's a new all-time high sale. There's actually only 4 PSA 9s and no PSA 10s, so this card's extremely difficult to find. It's also the only secret rare and the only spell card on the list. Number 9. From the set Enemy of Justice, we have the Ultimate Rare First Edition Fusion card Elemental Hero Phoenix Enforcer. That's a PSA 7 Pop 3, selling as a best offer for $550. Once again, this one we've had no prior sales on the card. This is actually the lowest grade of any card at a PSA 7 to make the top 10. Number 8. From the set Elemental Energy, we have the Ultimate Rare First Edition Fusion Monster Elemental Hero Wild Edge. That's a PSA 9 Pop 26, selling at auction for $560. This is down just a hair, 6% lower than its all-time high of $595 back in January of 2021. That all-time high sale price was at the peak of the market, but Wild Edge has hardly fallen at all. Number 7. From the set Gladiator's Assault, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition Fusion Monster Elemental Hero Chaos Neos. This one's a PSA 9 Pop 62, selling at auction for $630. That's a 14% drop from the all-time high of $730 back in December of 2020. This card has the largest pop of any card on the list, but it's only down 14% from the all-time high. Not too bad considering where we are in the market. Number 6. From the set Phantom Darkness, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition Rainbow Neos. That's a PSA 9 Pop 48, selling at auction for $725. This is down 12% from the all-time high of $825 back in March of 2021. Yet another card just barely down from its all-time high. GX collectors are willing to pay a premium for these really low-pop rare cards. Number 5. Also from the set Phantom Darkness, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition Fusion Monster Rainbow Neos. That's a PSA 9 Pop 48, once again selling at auction for $850 this time. That's actually a new all-time high for the card, a 3% increase from the previous all-time high of $825 back in March of 2021. Just like Red Eyes on the Duel Monsters list, Rainbow Neos has back-to-back sales on this week's list. Number 4. From the set Flaming Eternity, we have the Ultimate Rare First Edition Monster card Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys. That's a PSA 9 Pop 11, selling as a buy it now for $1,000 even. That's actually the first sale of this card, so we've got an all-time high right at $1,000. This is the first non-fusion monster to make the list, but it won't be the last. Number 3. From the set Enemy of Justice, we have the Ultimate Rare First Edition Fusion Monster Elemental Hero Phoenix Enforcer. That's a PSA 9 Pop 12, selling as a best offer for $1,100. No previous sales of this card listed on the PSA website, so we got a new all-time high. This card, a PSA 9, sold for exactly twice the price of the PSA 7 copy of the card that was also on this week's list at number 9. Number 2. From the set Shadow of Infinity, we have the Ultimate Rare First Edition Monster card Uriah, Lord of Syrian Flames. This one's a PSA 8, Pop 9, selling as a buy it now for $1,780. Now, I think this sale is a little suspicious, but I just wanted to include it anyway for completeness. This would be a new all-time high of 42% increase from the previous all-time high of $1,250 back in July of 2021. There's really no reason for this card to be selling for this much, as it's a higher price than what PSA 10s can fetch. It's a pretty suspicious sale. I'd likely say it was shill bid or unpaid for or something like that. Number 1. From the set Soul the Duelist, we have the Ultimate Rare First Edition Monster card Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8. This one's a PSA 9, population 20, selling at auction for $1,925. That's a new all-time high for the card in PSA 9, 108% increase from that previous all-time high of $925 back in September of 2020. Now, we've seen a PSA 8 copy of the card sell for $1,000, which is higher than what the previous all-time high was for a PSA 9, so this was due for a big sale. While we saw Fusion Monsters fill most of the top 10, 3 of the top 4 cards this week were non-fusion cards. Before I get into the top 5Ds sales of the past week, I'd like to apologize in advance if I mispronounce any 5Ds cards names. I quit playing right at the end of the GX era, so I'm not as familiar with the cards in 5Ds. But since some commenters were requesting that I cover the era, I thought I'd give it a shot. As time goes on, I'll add more commentary and info as I become more familiar with the cards. Now on to the top 10 5D sales of the past week. Number 10. From the set The Duelist Genesis, we have the Ultimate Rare First Edition spell card Emergency Teleport. That's a PSA 9, selling at auction for $223. This one's the only spell card to make the top 10 list. Number 9. From the set Crimson Crisis, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition monster card Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode. That's a PSA 8, selling as a best offer for $250. Number 8. From the set The Shining Darkness, we have a Ghost Rare First Edition Synchro Black Wing Dragon. That's a PSA 8, selling as a best offer for $260. Number 7. From the set Starstrike Blast, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition Synchro card Shooting Star Dragon. That's a PSA 7, selling as a buy it now for $305. This one's actually the lowest grade to make the list, but it doesn't stop it from getting to number 7. Number 6. Also from Star Strike Blast, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition Synchro Card Shooting Star Dragon once again. This one's a PSA 8, selling its best offer for $440. This card joins Red Eyes and Rainbow Neos with back-to-back spots in the top 10. Number 5. From the set Crimson Crisis, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition Monster Card Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode. That's a PSA 9, selling at auction for $661. The 2 copies of this card that sold this week are the only non-synchro monsters to make the top 10. Number 4. From the set Raging Battle, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition Synchro Card Power Tool Dragon. That's a PSA 9, selling as a best offer for $873. Number 3. From the set Ancient Prophecy, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition Synchro Card Ancient Fairy Dragon. That's a PSA 9, selling at auction for $926. Number 2. From the set Crossroads of Chaos, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition Synchro Card Black Rose Dragon. That's a PSA 8, selling at auction for $1,325. In my opinion, Black Rose Dragon has one of the coolest card arts of any card from any era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Number 1. From the set The Duelist Genesis, we have the Ghost Rare First Edition Synchro Card Stardust Dragon. That's a PSA 8, selling at auction for $2,720. Crazy to see PSA 8s take the number 1 and number 2 spots from all the other PSA 9 cards this week. That just goes to show the value of Stardust Dragon and Black Rose Dragon. That's the end of this week's Vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch.